Hi everyone. As you might have noticed, I haven't been giving too much public readings or haven't been doing too much publicly for about, the last year or so. Um, but I felt really drawn to doing an end of the year reading. So this is what um, I wanted to offer for the end of 2020, the energy that's kind of taking you and us into 2021. So this will be based on a number that you're drawn to. So just take a deep breath and take a minute to center yourself or whichever and pick a number 1 through 4. And I'm going to give 4 different readings, and then you feel into what number you're drawn to, and listen to that reading, okay? So I'm starting here with number 1. All right, so for number 1, I know that I am going to be talking about my expression in the world, and I do feel that I'm talking to a writer, a speaker, a writer, and an expressive person, and of course an artist. But I want to tell you or affirm for you your ability to use words to communicate with the world. And I really want to say the world because I've been communicating in my small circles, and in 2021 I need to kind of branch out more. And I do see a little bit of a struggle with that. You understand that because I'm shy. You understand? So I know that I'm talking to an introverted communicator. So I've always felt kind of a push-pull with my abilities, with what my purpose is, but I always know that it's to communicate, you understand? Now I'm finally getting the bravery, the ability to do it. It's been quite a challenge. This is no small feat, because I want to tell you, like, with your purpose here, your expression here on earth, this is everything, and you need to go through the insecurity phase of your expression. And I feel like for most of you, you are seeing the kind of light at the end of the tunnel, because I just feel like as I follow this, what I see for you is like this blue, I wanted to say water, but it's more air. Again, expression and writing and writers and words and thoughts and thinkers and philosophers. So the more that I'm following this for you, it's not like a straight line at all, and you don't think in a straight line, and so your work and your purpose of your life will not look like a straight line. So stop looking for that in your life, because I feel like what I'm looking for is such a structured staircase that I can climb. That's not what your purpose is, and it's also not your style, so it's okay to just let that go, because your style is a little bit more, I want to say, and this is funny and I know that you have a sense of humor because that is coming through. So I want to also tell you or say that, your writing could be very dry and very hilarious. Your expression is hilarious. And you have a special way of expression, let's just put it that way, that makes people think, but you also bring joy and laughter with your expression. That's why it's so important that you do share this in 2021, okay? So when I see the path, it's not a path. It's not a straight line. It's not a staircase. It's like, I want to say it's all over the place, but it's not in a chaotic sense all over the place. It's something that, like air, just like air, it fills an entire space and it's very fluid. There is something very important about, this is not something that you can see. You may not be able to see the effects of what you do, and you may not be able to measure air, that kind of thing. So you may not be satisfied with the measurement of what you're putting out there. You might be satisfied with the production of it. That's always been a running theme in your life, and the more that you focus on your heart and that you actually love this work, it doesn't matter what the outcome is. But I do want to tell you that it's important and vital to you, to your soul's purpose, that you are getting over the insecurities and the attachment to the outcomes of what this work is going to do. For so much of it, you're not going to be able to see, I have to say, you're not going to see the effect that it has on people and the effect it has on the world. And I know this brings sadness, and I know that I'm struggling with that. And it's why I can't speak. It's why I have a hard time expressing myself, because I don't feel like, this is going to go anywhere. But it is going somewhere. It is vital that you do it, and you will see progress, but it's not the time that you want to see progress. And so in 2021, it's important that you keep this mantra of just keep doing this, because I have to do this, because this is my joy, this is my heart, this is my purpose, and it has nothing to do with what I can see coming of it, because you won't be able to see what's coming of it for a while. So you just have to stick with it. So this is your heart, your soul, spirit coming through to be stick with this. You know that this is your purpose. It's not easy. You will have the challenge of your confidence is the biggest challenge, and the attachment to outcome is the second biggest, and they're together, and it's very natural. And I know that you're a perfectionist, so it's going to be hard to accept this, right? And it's hard to accept, not seeing my outcome, right? So knowing that, I feel like this is going to give you a little bit more of an affirmation in your end of the year into your 2021. There does seem like I'm suffering a little bit from what came up is analysis paralysis, because I have a few different roads I could travel, and I'm trying to think out these different, let's say 7 different options for me, trying to think out what the outcome of all 7 could be. And I'm just telling you that's not working for you, because it's not, and I just want to affirm that for you, because you could never see the outcome of all of these choices. You have to go with the one that excites you the most, the one that is the warmest in your heart space. I know that money is, of course, a concern, but I do want to say that you do have a structure of power running under this purpose, and you do have a stable energy coming forward. And I almost want to say you were deciding between the 1 and the 4 to choose for your reading, and you choose the 1. And I just want to say the 4 energy is also with you if you want to read that. I don't even know what comes up in that reading yet. I haven't done it. But the 4 energy is also with you, so you can listen to that. But I'm telling you that you have structure, you have a stability, because I almost feel like I'm talking to like a Virgo who's like going to be super organized and always does take care of the details of life, and just that you can trust yourself, that you're not going to completely fall apart by following your heart. In fact, there's going to be a lot of things that come to you because of the decision that you make to go with this. And I just want to say that although it seems like a free will decision, at the same time, I just want to tell you that this is your purpose. That all I see for you is expression, and a lot of thinkers, writers, philosopher kind of energy coming through here. I do want to say too that you may be even like a fast talker. You may have like a little bit of like almost a nervous, quote unquote, energy with the way that you like are in the world or express your thoughts. But I don't know why that's coming through. I have to say that. Just want to let you know that this is like an endearing part of you, that your expression is extremely unique, and no one has it. So even though I may be talking to like 10 or 15 or 30 different writers and philosophers, each one of you has a completely different voice, different point of view, and that nervousness is almost like endearing me to you as a person who's listening to your thoughts and your frame of mind. It almost makes such a smart person human, and it makes you relatable to me, and you are trying to break down some really big ideas into a relatable way. So it's like you're completely giving me all of the air, the thought, the philosophy, the writing, but you're able to bring it down to my level. When I say my, I am speaking as like the people who you're communicating with. You're making it digestible for us, and only you can say it in this way. And I want to say again, like, it's funny too. So we need it. And so you have to start taking yourself outside of your work a little bit and start realizing, like, you're a medium for this idea to come through. And it's not fair to us if you don't share it, that kind of thing. And so it doesn't have to be completely perfect before you start sharing, because as you keep going, you're just going to keep refining your skills. But there is, like, again, I want to say there's that analysis paralysis that you've been going through in 2020. It's a little bit the energy of 2020 coming, aligning with you. So it's not, that I need to be so hard on myself that I haven't been working or expressing or writing as much as I wanted to be doing this year. I do see that changing quite a bit within the next year. And it will take like 3 months or so for me to get on my feet, it feels like, with a schedule, with like a really natural but scheduled way of creating my work and communicating my stuff. So what is that? March 2021 I feel like my confidence is back. I feel like my intuition is really strong around then. And so it's like, I just want to say from spirit and everything and your soul that to hang in there for the next couple of months, because it's going to feel like the same old story that I've always felt, which is I'm too shy to share what I need to share, what I want to share. And just feeling in a little bit, through the year. There's also like this feeling that comes in around September of 2021 where things kind of stop. Just want to say that's probably, not probably, what is it feels like that's a world thing again. Just want to tell you that that feels like a big headache for everyone in September of 2021. Things kind of go dark. This is a time for you personally where you are taking on a leadership role, okay? So it's like you have to kind of hang in there and keep communicating, because by September of 2021, you've refined some of these philosophies and ideas that is going to be helpful, entertaining, and joyful to people when there is a kind of darkness, or, you know, just like another difficult time. It just feels like for everyone, okay? So like that's just gonna be financially a difficult time. I'm not saying for you personally, I'm just saying like the general feeling of that time that carries through. You know, I do feel like I have to say that, you know, you have your finger on the pulse anyway, so it comes as no surprise to say that this is going to be leading us into a kind of a Great Depression, but we need thinkers, we need philosophers, we need writers, we need especially funny writers and funny expression. So to help guide us through this, and you're just one of those people, and you kind of just have to follow the lane that your heart is calling, okay? Because I know that you feel like you have a lot of options and you don't know which path to kind of choose. And as you go along, although it's like a Great Depression, you found your purpose. Like by the end of 2021, I just want to be like, I know what my purpose is. I'm not conflicted about sharing and this and that, because I have within myself found my approval, and I have within myself found that this is bringing me joy and this is my calling. So I just want to say, like, this is such a beautiful reading to connect with the philosophers that are going to help us through this time period, and the artists, you know, the writers who are thinking big ideas and solutions, and especially with humorous, loving expression. So it's been an honor to connect there with you. I don't know what's in reading 4, but I think that for some of you who was ever deciding between the two numbers, go ahead and listen to that. And I hope that you have a beautiful holidays and a beautiful new year. All right. Mwah. Okay, I'm taking a sip of water here. I'm going to do number 2. Okay. Number two. I'm just going to like flash that so I know that I've changed. So number 2, I know that family is coming up with you right now. Relationships with you and your family are coming up. Just want to see. So this is end of 2020, right? So I've been dealing with some family, you know, I want to say like I'm kind of like organizing some family, like drama and some family illnesses. And I even want to say for some of you here that you've lost loved ones, And I'm just sending you a lot of love with this message, because I can tell that when I'm doing a psychic reading, but I can feel slowly spirit coming in, and there is loss around you. And I just need to tell you that these person who you've lost is coming through. I just want to say that I just have to say that because it's like just a chance for this person to tell you that there's peace, there's joy and warmth with them. And I just want to also, I have to say how close they are to you. And yeah, they're just close to you in spirit. And I can't, unfortunately, go into the more specifics because I do know that there's spirit here with a lot of messages. But I want to tell you, like, they're coming through with a message of hope for you. And they want you to know that although they pass on and you're grieving them, they are in perfect harmony and peace. And they're actually using what I'm seeing is their heart energy to surround you and help you heal and process the pain. I do want to say that I'm extremely hard on myself for being so sad, okay? And it's like so natural, and it's a sign of my love, and it's a sign of my heart, my expression. So I want to release you from some of that burden with, from spirit. It wants you to release some of that burden and the judgments around how you grieve, because it's a sadness that I want to say, it's not like, for some of you, but I want to say, like, it's not that I'm crying and I'm a mess all the time. And sometimes I'm judging that. Do you understand that? Like, I should be crying more. I should be, but you're having your process of grief, and it is perfect in its own way. You cannot really be judging at all that process. For those of you who I'm talking about, who is just dealing with family relationships in general, I just want to say I do know that there's been sickness in the family. So there is that kind of energy with you too, who has, it's just been difficult to breathe. Do you know what I mean? I just feel that for you. I feel that for the person who you care for. And I just want to say that you have to know what a good job you've been doing, because you are looking out over your year and you're looking out over your world, and you're saying, like, am I doing enough? Was that good enough? Like, I don't feel like I've supported this person. I feel that I personally probably also was dealing with some health issues myself, and I'm just hard on myself for being sick, and I need to just kind of let that go, because as I see, you're looking out over your world right now. And I want to say, I know that you're wishing that things were different in your life. I want to say, like, I have been not feeling myself, and so I'm out of touch with my gratitude, and then I get mad at myself for that. And it's just a process of kind of being in physical illness and dealing with physical illness around you, and just grief in general. It's very, like, just part of that process. And as I'm looking out, hold on. So I'm seeing you, looking out over your life. And I just feel like, what the hell? I'm not happy with that. I'm not in touch with, these other things that I've wanted to do, to accomplish. You've had to kind of put your dreams or your desires on hold a little bit for your family, okay? I just want to tell you, like, that's not your purpose. There is resistance there, and this is not to make me feel bad about myself, but there's resistance to being a supportive role at times. So it's like, it's naturally what I'm here for. It's naturally what I'm good at. And at the same time, I resent it a little bit still with my family because it does take me away from other things that I think are for me. And I just want to say there's certain things that are in your mind that are not for you. Certain relationships. I just have to say for some of you, like if I am connecting with most of the twos here, there is a relationship that, it feels like unrequited love kind of thing that kind of hovers in the meantime. And I just want to let that go too. But it's been hard for me to recognize or realize is that person really, not supposed to be in my life. It's so hard to accept. I feel that I'm seeing spirit so much right now. I just want to tell you, you're totally surrounded by light beings. So I know this has been an extremely, extremely trying year of your life. You have so much healing energy around you. Like, you're not dealing with any of this alone energetically. It might feel like that you're kind of the one holding your family a little bit. And I also feel like for some of you who have a lot going on in your family, you feel like you're not holding them, right? You're not doing enough. But I want to tell you that I'm certainly getting the fact that you're doing everything that you can, and to please forgive yourself, because there's so much guilt around this loss. You understand that? And I have to forgive myself because I don't, honestly, from Spirit's perspective, there's nothing to forgive. And you have to realize that. You have to know that about you. You have to know that about this loss, that you're perfect in your grief, okay? I'm taking a deep breath here because from Spirit, I'm sending the healing to your heart. And and it's my head that's judging me. It's my mind that's continuing to judge me. I know I need to forgive myself, and I know I need to forgive for some of you who are dealing with like that breakup and that unrequited love. I do feel I have to forgive that ex-partner or that partner who I am fighting with, and I do feel kind of separated from. I have to have forgiveness in my heart. I don't feel necessarily that I have to express that to that person. I feel like I have to have forgiveness in my own heart. And that a lot of times with this forgiveness that I'm feeling here, it can be energetic and not communicated in the physical world, but communicated through your heart space would be so that I don't keep going in circles, okay, when I am trying to communicate with this person, because this has always been an issue. Do you understand? So I'm not going to continue to do that. As I'm moving into 2021, I know that spiritually, I feel a little bit hungry, and I feel like I am basically finding ways to feed my soul in 2021, because in 2020, I had to consider others quite a bit, especially my family. And as I'm going into 2021, although that continues, I'm finding time for myself. And what is it feeding my soul? I just feel I'm drawn towards spirituality more. I'm drawn towards reading spiritual text. I love philosophy. I love listening to people who can break down Eastern religion and philosophy for me in a beautiful way. And I like to read that kind of thing. I also see you as enjoying poetry, enjoying music, getting back in touch with music. You know, like I used to play music in my car all the time, and then 2020 happened and I wasn't going out, or I wasn't traveling as much, and that's when I listened to music, right? I was listening to music on my way to work. I was listening to music in my car. I was listening to music, you know, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened to my gift of music? Well, I haven't been traveling, so I have to now in 2021. I'm finding ways to just put music on versus a show. You understand? And then I put music on while I cook. I have to put music on while I do things around the house and while I do my work. Okay. So I always have to be listening to music. This is so important for healing my heart, but also just being in touch with my own spirit, because I want to tell you that, you know, I have a hard time with meditation. It might not be my exact yoga, so to speak. It's not necessarily my work in the world. There's other forms of meditation that I can get into, and it's like I'm wanting to say like it's sound therapy. I have to be listening to music, and that kind of just helps me get my head not thinking anymore. I fall into the song, that kind of a thing. So I'm just feeling into the next year for you a little bit. I know this is like a really spiritually based year for you, honestly. I just want to tell you, like, I just see you like praying and relying on prayer and things. Like, I want to say that sounds kind of not crazy, but it just doesn't sound like something that you were necessarily doing this time in 2019. Let's just put it that way. You've been touched by grief, you've been touched by loss in your life, and you've been dealing with quite an amount of pressure in your family situation, and you are finding that the thing that brings you solace and peace is prayer. And so instead of like, I feel like I've been like, oh, I can't meditate, which is like sitting quietly. I feel like I need to talk out loud, talk in prayer, and I just see that's what you're doing a lot in 2021. And it's almost like disappointing because I know that you're thinking about other things and your quote unquote dreams for your life, and I do feel like that involved so much travel, and I don't feel like that's coming back in 2021, or it's not coming to you in 2021. But I just want to say again, like, that's something not for you at this time, as much as I feel that it is, and as much as I love it and I like it and I want to do it, it's not there. And again, that's a grief too, like when my dreams are not coming to fruition in that way. But I want to tell you that in that space that is created, you are going to be filled with spirit, with a spirituality, with a pleasure and a joy and a basically comfort that I feel that you wouldn't have had before. So you are experiencing quite a bit of growth here. It's like you're doing your work that you came here to do on earth, and it's quite challenging. But yeah, I just want to give you that healing from spirit, and I just know that let's just put it this way, that the path is kind of dimly lit also for you. I feel that this is a universal kind of message for 2021 anyway. It's hard to see the way forward. That's part of the process of being alive now, and that's part of our dharma and our karma together. That's part of our work, all of us as a collective. So you're not alone in that at all. And I just want to say too, like, you're growing so much spiritually, you're becoming so much more discerning in 2021, which means like the person who you are, I just want to say, like, for those of you who are in that kind of relationship that's kind of rocky, you're way more discerning into the next year, where you will look back and say, I can't believe what I used to kind of put up with and what I used to believe, because I feel that there's been some deceit, there's been mistruths, and there's some things happening in the dark, behind you, and you would definitely be able to sense that going forward, okay? So it's like you've been through that hard part, and you've grown in strength in 2021. I do just want to say that financially, physical health, those things are the things you're going to be having to watch out for going forward anyway. I feel like if you have that issue now, I'm just saying that to keep an eye on it. It's not to scare anyone or anything like that, because this is for people who already know that they've been dealing with physical ailments themselves, okay? It's not like I'm just like predicting a terrible illness, but I do want to say, for those of you who have not been ill, or that's not resonating with you, that it's so important to keep an eye on my finances and my health in 2021. It's my mental health, it's my physical health. I do see that becoming more clear for you. And I want to tell you again, like, as you look over your life, that although there's these disappointments from the last year, I feel that you're going forward releasing the disappointment, okay? I know that I want more concrete answers and things like this. I do want to say, like, you can definitely get more specific with this in personal psychic readings, but I just want to say, like, the concrete answers are not the things that your ego is looking for, is not what you're here on earth for, okay? You're here to experience what you are experiencing, and you're doing a beautiful job. I just want to say that too. So, sending you all of the blessings, wishing you a beautiful end of the year, all of that healing energy surrounding you, sending it out. Okay. Second. Okay, number 3, right? Let me just flash this. So, number 3. Okay, number 3. Just want to say that, these readings that I'm doing right now for you is just a psychic reading, and then I'll flash a few cards if I feel like, we need some clarity or anything like that, but I'm just totally connecting with you energetically. And just taking a second here. Okay, 3, I just want to say, like, very creative energy, and I feel like creatively, there's just something that needs to come out of you. You're definitely giving birth in 2021 to something that you will be able to see, that you'll be able to measure in the physical world. And this is very career-based for you. Let me just see. it's like I'm doing really well in 2021. I just have to say that. I want to say like this work has paid off because in 2021, you'll definitely see the fruits of your labor by the summertime of 2021. So in 2020, I have been working my ass off. I just feel like I've been working on this thing that I am about to birth. You understand that? And it definitely has required my some financial risk, or I have done something financially that, it was a risk. Like it was a risk to make this. It's a risk to take this job, make this product, what it is. And 2021, I will see that the risk has paid off, okay? So I already feel like I'm seeing this trinity of I have my groundedness, I have my health and my finances, and in 2021, I will see that, I have birthed this thing into being that wasn't here before, that I knew I had to do, and I'm very happy with myself, okay? So it's a beautiful thing that you're doing. And I just want to say too that whatever it is you're doing here has like a very heart-centered approach to it, and I feel like you're guided by angels, honestly, to do this thing. So it's funny because I'm laughing because like for you really might not be that aware of your angels or angels in general, and you don't even know how maybe you feel about that kind of thing. It's just like they are so present in this work. There's also like it's so funny because there's like romantic love and matchmaking kind of involved here. I don't even know why, but it's why that's coming up here. But there's a beautiful partnership, but also it's like you must know that you have like some kind of ability of like matchmaking or something like that. So for some reason that word match, okay, is coming up. It's come 3 times, so I know I have to just really say it's a match. You understand that? So I feel like a relationship has come into your life to help create this project, and it's like it's a match, okay? So I have that. There's a question for some of you, is this a romantic match? And it feels very strongly yes for both. So I just feel like for those of you who picked the 3, I feel that really strong answer of like, yes, this is your match, a match for the company. Or if you're asking a romantic question, there's a beautiful, really soft romantic light around you, okay? So what is this? I just want to say that you have a found ability to make money, to make finances work for you. Why do I say found ability? Because you've taught yourself in a way. I don't feel that you came from the amount of stability and financially that you will have in your life and that you have now and that what you will have. It's so important that, this is your path in this lifetime because you've been through quite a bit, I want to say, in the first third of your life where you didn't have this path, you didn't have the stability, the money that is coming to you. So it's like there's this big celebration around you that is just like full of love. it's also full of like physical resources, so earthly love. You understand? So I'm talking my finances, my health, also not just romantic love, but it's a beautiful reading. I just want to say, like, it's so interesting because I don't have to say too much. You know, it's like I just want to affirm for you that you are birthing this into being. Um, you have to see already that, you know, the fruits of your labor will be coming to fruition. You are incredibly in touch with the truth. You're you understand that you are a person of your word, okay? And you, I don't know why I have to say this, but it's like you have made promises to people in your life, and you will go to the ends of the earth to make sure that you keep those promises, and you are keeping those promises. You also are a whistleblowing kind of archetype, you understand? So it may not be the most popular point of view at the time, but you have to say it. You can't help yourself, and you have to tell the truth. Okay, so you have an extreme amount of confidence. That is beautiful because it's not, it doesn't come across arrogant, and it's not arrogant, but you are sure of your word. You're sure of yourself. You're sure of your thought process, and you're sure of, you know, more or less your expression in the world. Like everybody questions, like, who am I, blah, blah. You have those thoughts, but generally speaking, when it comes to your work in the world, you're pretty sure of yourself, and this is a beautiful trait. So I just want to say that, you know, this is just looking like a gorgeous transition for you. Against the backdrop of other people being, you know, in an in-between space, you know what I mean? I feel like you have this beautiful work, this beautiful life that you've created, that you did not always have. So this is a really celebratory time. I just want to say, up against the backdrop of the world, what's happening to your friends, what's happening to other people around you in your community, it puts a damper on your spirit a little bit, because you just feel like, what did I do to deserve this versus my neighbor who is struggling, that kind of a thing. I just want to make sure that I just feel like the message here is to keep your concerns, you know, I keep saying this in every reading, but it's like, please don't beat yourself up, especially for succeeding, okay? I'm feeling like, you know, because in whatever way, deserve is a strange word, but this is what's happening for you, and you need to accept it. Do you understand that? You need to accept it with open arms and embrace it. You have a very strong energy about you, I have to say, and you have a really, really strong life force, okay? So you're a life bringer. You're a strong force in the world, and I feel that there is some amount of guilt, succeeding guilt around you. Do you understand that? That never is going to help you, and it doesn't help the people that, you know, you're feeling empathizing with. So I do need to let that go. In 2021, I feel like I am also, you know, going out on my own in a way, and I am just I'm following my own light. And as I'm doing this, let me just see here. Okay, so I have all of this beautiful thing coming to me with career here. Spiritually, I also am growing here. I am being guided by a light. It's a light within myself. I just want to feel into this just a little bit more. I'm just gaining wisdom, okay? So it's like I've always been smart as a whip. I've always been super creative. I've always, and these things are like finally I can see them in the world with my work that I've done, and now it's like I'm wise, okay? So it's like this is one of the most beautiful end of year into a new year readings I can, could have hoped for anyone. Just feel it's just an extremely creative time. You are like on a path, and it's like full of light, fire, vibrancy, and you yourself internally are aligned with that path. Spiritually, this is an aligned path. And I just want to say, congratulations to you, because this is going to be a very huge celebratory time. And to allow yourself to celebrate these joys without the guilt, without feeling like other people don't have this and I'm sad about that. Yes, I empathize with what's going on in the world, but at the same time, I need to acknowledge and accept what is happening in my personal life and use that light to kind of shine outwardly onto others with love rather than feeling sorry, okay, and feeling guilty for succeeding. So I am just going to leave you with that and wish you a wonderful holiday and happy new year. Okay, so number 4. Flashing my hand there so I know. Take a sip of water here. I'm just resetting a little bit. Okay. So number 4, this is so interesting because I do feel like I've walked a long way, and I'm almost like I have like carried so much on my back that I'm like tired, okay? And it's interesting because I had said in the one reading that they might want to read the 4, listen to the 4 reading, and the first thing that came up is like these possibilities that I'm debating, and this analysis paralysis, right? But also on top of all these different paths that I'm trying to see which one will work, it's like I still have so much that I need to let go. Is it physical? I'm just feeling into this, heavy, like I'm sore in my body in a way, and I'm just wanting to feel into that for a second here, if that's more of, so it's not that I'm sore in my body, it's that what I'm getting here for you is that I have been depleted in my resources, have been diminishing and depleted, and it's been quite a difficult year as far as resources go, as far as everything goes. I can see now why it's such a similar reading to the ones, because there is this feeling like forgiveness that is coming up, and it's almost like I'm having a hard time forgiving, what is my place in the world right now. I'm having a hard time like forgiving the powers that be that I feel kind of put me in this position. Do you understand that? Like, either I lost my job and my boss or some kind of authority came in and feels like it took from me what was my resources and depleted my resources. And it's like, I'm pissed, okay? And I'm like, yeah, and I'm just like, this is not okay, okay? So it's like, it's been very hard to accept that this happened in a way, like that my resources have been drained. And I'm not seeing like my clear, like how the hell am I going to get through this kind of thing. And so you must understand that in a way. And yeah, it just feels like a burden, heavy burden of responsibilities, okay? And I know that because I'm picking that up 100% for you. And it's like, this is the situation that you're in at the moment, okay? And this is how 2020 has been for you. And I just want to say, like, I'm affirming this for you because it's coming through so strongly. And this is what it is right now, right? And we're ending this period in a sense because the year is ending. And so it's like, you're really looking forward to this year ending because you know energetically that that really means a shift, and you've been looking for a shift and you need outside energy for a shift. You are going to be like, there is some time that you have to continue to feel a little bit the same energies that you were feeling. It's like repercussions, leftover energy kind of thing. But after that period, that is like, you know, the first few months of 2021, you're kind of just coming out of this cocoon of like, yeah. So again, there's this image of like birthing out of what seemed like just a very spiritually difficult, mentally difficult space, and you're coming out of that. I want to say, like, I have to wait a little while because it's just like the stars have to kind of align and you need the outside energy to match up. So it's like you're waiting for your moment from the stars kind of thing, okay? And that starts to transition for you around March and April in a very obvious way. And then I feel like you're charging forward. So all of this energy that's felt very heavy is now going to be like burst into flames. And I feel like you're so ready for that. I know that it feels like a lifetime to kind of like hang in for a few more months, but it's so universal. It's not just you. It's like what is going on Earth with everyone. So you are having to do that. And then it's like your power of creativity, you're a mastermind of invention. So this is like so cool because I'm like, what are you going to invent? Like, this is amazing. I don't know. I have to say, like, you have a very strong energy and technology and innovation. So you've been through something that like sparks an idea of how no one else has to deal with this the same way that you did almost, okay? I don't know if that makes sense to you now, but please re-listen to this around March or April because it's like something comes down from heaven and just like into your mind. You have a beautiful like inventor's mind as it is. You must know that you're able to like juggle a million different things, a million different like ideas at once, and follow them through and like know, you just know what you're, it's just so weird because it's like, I see now why you might have this plethora of possibility, okay? I'm seeing more into what your soul's expression is, and it is like, I have skills that I could do like 50 different things. I know about everything that I know about. I know everything about it. I know that sounds funny, but like that's how people would describe you, okay? So it's like you're into movies, you know every single movie and every line from every movie that was created since 1940. Okay, so it's like when you get involved in something, you get involved, thoroughly involved, okay? You end up becoming an expert at the field, okay? And now it's like, I'm an expert at all of these things, but I've had such a burden to carry because, like, financially, I just feel like the rug was swept out from under me, and I just feel like I lost my footing there. And I want to say I'm pissed because it wasn't my fault almost, okay? So it's like you have to understand that to understand what is happening with you in March and April through 2021 that carries you. I almost feel like you're at the beginning of like a 9 or 10, your 9-year cycle. So 2021 being the first year of like a 9 cycle for you, that feeling where it's like the idea is the seed comes in and you're no longer saying like, oh, I can do 50 different things and it's paralyzing me. It's like, I can focus on these 2 or 3 things, but there's one in particular that's like an amazing idea. Then you focus on that and feel like, okay, now I'm on this thing. I'm on this path. I have this idea and it's beautiful. I see joy around that for you for the first time in a very long time. I just want to say, like, the last 3 years of this cycle for you, it's been hard to like catch your breath. It's been hard to breathe. Yeah. Not breathe, but it's been hard to relax. It's been hard to find any joy. And I feel like with this clarity, you will be joyful because you can see now more hope, more possibilities for your life and for everyone around you. And it so has to do with truth telling and self-expression, so similar to really what I was saying with Lund. So it's interesting that, you have a way of expression that the world needs to hear. And so, just so you know, reading for you, I'm not worried about you, and it's like, you must know that because your friends and your family feel the same way about you. It's just like, you have everything that you need. You have the talent, you have the mind, you have the heart. And just because you don't have the earthly resources that you can see yet, don't let that get you down because you have everything else and no one is like worried about this coming to fruition except for you. You understand? So everybody has the faith in you except for you having the faith in you. And it's a natural situation, but I want to say, like, I need to release myself of this burden of being so angry with the circumstances that I'm in and start just like accepting more of the circumstances, no matter how unfair they seem to have been, because the more that you are aligned with that, the more joyful this next year is going to be for you, because you will have cause to feel joy, because finally I do feel like, and I know how cliche this is, but you found your calling in 2021. But I have to say it because it's what's coming up, and it's like, I feel like I've always known this, but I haven't had my finger on how and, what I'm doing day to day to bring this into fruition, to bring this to the world. So it's so interesting because I'm sure there are a lot of parallels from this reading to the number 1 reading. And if you picked 4, I would go back and read 1 if you feel drawn to it, because I said to the ones to read the 4 if they were between 1 and 4, because for some reason I knew that there would be a similarity here. So if you were between picking 1 and 4, go back and listen to the one. There will be some of this that resonates with you, because this is so much about soul's calling. And I'm about to put my finger, so for the 4s, it's like in 2021, I'm about to put my finger on it. Okay. And I didn't know, like, you've known that you have a purpose. It's just very hard to see, like, what is it? What am I doing? What does that mean for me? Does that, like, involve my career? Or, like, is my purpose, like, never going to be something that I can actually make money at? For me, I do feel that, you know, there's going to be financial security enough for you within this realm, if this is your calling. And I just want to say, like, it's not really necessarily the focus. And you've been very tripped up on the details of how everything is going to work out. And I just see that in 2021, especially towards the fall, there's a sense of peace that kind of comes over you that I'm telling you, I just feels like I haven't been peaceful for years, like in my own being. Like I can't even like sit on my own couch and just have a moment of just like, comfort, peace, because there's so much worry and oppression and burden on me, coming from myself, but also the outside world and the circumstances that I found myself in 2020. There's peace coming to you. And it's an interesting thing because, again, this depression in the world, this economic downfall that is coming, which I feel is coming to a head around September and November of 2021, you will be feeling peace. It's a strange paradox, but it is what it is. I have to tell you, like, again, like your attitude is going to be changing. And this anger and frustration with the circumstances is evolving into creative energy, and it's beautiful. It's, you know, it is the energy of all creation. It's coming through you, and it's a very creative time. And I'm just like, I can't wait to see what you're inventing. Like, this is amazing. So hopefully you reach out when you do have this idea and let me know what the heck it was, because it looks beautiful. Whatever it is, it's going to help a lot of people, and it's definitely going to fulfill you in the process. So, again, it's the beginning of like a long, like a 9-year work cycle, career cycle, energy cycle for you. So just like enjoy this process, because whatever you come up with is going to be a beautiful thing. So I just want to say thank you so much for listening, and good luck to you. Happy holidays and Happy New Year.